Welcome back. You're still watching Daybreak Extra on Trust Television. Now, moving on to quite more interesting topics. We have Phebe Atsemude. She is a film producer and actress. She starred as the lead actor in an upcoming movie titled 23 The Friend Zone. She also co-produced a movie called The Funeral. Now, Phebe is here with us in the studio to share her journey so far and to tell us the process of filmmaking and the challenges involved. Phoebe, thank you for coming on the show.
Good morning, Phoebe.
Thanks for having me.
Okay, now, away from all of that, I want to act film.
Are you ready?
I want to be a movie star.
Are you ready?
What does it take? What is
Are you
involved?
ready to go through the process?
Now, tell us the process.
Okay. So, am I starting from being a movie star?
Start anywhere,
Yes, and then
please.
the process.
I love gist.
Anyway, okay, gist, backstory.
Yeah.
So, growing up, yeah, I didn't really see myself as talented or that I could do anything. And that's because I was around like very wonderful siblings that could do everything from playing the instruments to being extra smart, all of that. And I always felt out of place here. So I'd always watch cartoons then. And so I started developing my voice and trying to speak like them. So I think that was where the process of me going into media even started in the first place. So eventually I found out I could actually do something. And so I carried it on my head like government work. Like I put in so much effort. I started working on myself. And that was how I got into media. I studied theater arts in university.
Wow, beautiful.
I did. And, but then all of my majors were in media. So I was on radio for years. You know, but then I knew I was going to do film eventually because apart from studying theater arts in my undergraduate, I also have a master's in it. So these were the things I had to go through. And in terms of the question that you've asked here, how to be a movie star, first of all, it comes with passion because it's a lot of work.
I have passion, right? That shouldn't have passion,
Depends,
don't I?
yeah, do you have passion? So it has to do with passion because many times, especially at the initial stage, it may not really pay because you have to put your face out there. You know how the whole process thing works. Yeah, so you have to be passionate about it enough to grind, to work late hours, to meet people, drop your pride and your ego, and just do everything it takes to make it work.
Okay.
Now, we know that being a filmmaker is quite, laborious. It takes a lot of patience to actually be on the field. What keeps you motivated?
Oh, what keeps me motivated? Apart from the fact that I love what I do, yeah.
That's the passion we're talking about.
Yeah, passion. I love what I do. I have plans and ideas of how I want to portray my industry, especially in Nigeria and Africa. So those are some of the things that just keeps me motivated, keeps me going. And again, knowing that you have something to do and to finish, one of the things you're taught when you go into filmmaking is that you have very limited time. For example, you have to shoot a film and
you have a deadline.
You have a deadline. They're giving you like just 3 days to shoot and all of that. Depends on the length. It could be a feature, it could be a short film. So whatever it is, you know there's a deadline. And it is so interesting because filmmaking just makes you see that time is money. Now you're given a particular budget to do a film. And then when you do all of your calculations, it's going to take you, say, maybe 5 days to do it. Now anything that makes you exceed that 5 days, it is money. Because you're actors on set, you have to feed them.
Extra costs.
Exactly. Yeah. You have to pay the crew people, especially the ones that you have to pay on a daily basis. Now, when your executive producer has given you the money that you need, you've broken down your budget and all of that, and you exceed the time, where are you going to get the money from? It's going to come from your pocket, and you're not supposed to do that. Well, except when you're just coming up. Most times they're investors and all of that.
Okay, I was actually going to ask where you get your funding from.
Oh, okay. So they're investors. Film is like a huge business in Nigeria. You just have to understand and be very prepared. For example, you get to meet people, you are exposed, maybe attend festivals and all of that. From there, you have conversations. You can, for example, if you're a budding filmmaker, you could start with your family and friends. Ask them, I want to shoot a film, gather all of the monies, and then shoot your film. So
okay. So I have two questions,
Yeah.
but I'll ask one now and I'll take the other later.
Okay.
Now, talking about taking the whole thing on your head, it's good that you're taking this on your head. Some people are taking wickedness like government work. But anyways, okay, so the question is, a major setback that filmmakers, movie producers, and upcoming actors and actresses face is rejection.
Yeah.
How do you deal with rejection?
For me, I'm a believer, in Jesus, and I pray. And then I affirm myself a lot. I know that when it comes to life, there is no room for failure or acceptance of failure. So most times I'm always very conscious of my mind, dealing with rejection. It happens. You stand up and you do it again and again and again. So yeah, let me share one experience. Filmmakers really go through a lot, especially because people don't believe that it's a real job. The Nigerian setting, the older generation, they just believe that you don't have a real job when you're into film or media or a lot of things. So I was house hunting in Lagos recently, and so I was moving around checking for houses, and then I got this particular house. It was what I wanted. The area I wanted, it was way, like, within my budget, exactly what I wanted. And then got to the part of what do you do? And I'm like, I'm a filmmaker. You should have seen the way they looked at me, like, this one is not ready with us. You're not ready with life. That thing really, really hurts me, that I kept ranting about it to anybody that cared to listen. But the owner of the house calls the shots. I can't do anything about it. She gave me that look of, get a real job. So these are things that we have to face. And I feel like, apart from this aspect in terms of, being in the field also, you just have to keep showing up. That's the only thing that will work. Show up, put yourself out there as much as you can, and people are watching. People would see you, and eventually you get the break that you want.
All right, let's take a look at, some of the movies that you've actually worked on.
Okay.
You forgot to make one action.
Wait.
What am I waiting?
I'm just coming now. You can see
What?
I've never even dropped.
I don't want to hear anything you have to say. Explain what you want to explain. No, what are you explaining? What exactly are you explaining?
I had to go. There was an emergency at home.
Oh, wow. That's why you forgot to make
This is Sammy, Sammy is the sweetest 25-year-old I know. He has this charming smiles that gets me every time. Sammy's.
All right, now, Phoebe, let's. What can you tell us about your upcoming project? Because we actually watched the video of some of the things you actually worked on. Tell us about your upcoming project.
So I would like to talk about the funeral, most importantly. I recently went to film school at Ebony Live Academy, and I was opportune to work with other creatives to make that what I think or I know is a masterpiece, And the writer is such an amazing person because his mind just works in this very crazy way, and that's why I really connected with the story, and I wanted it so bad. The funeral just talks about us having to understand that we should express ourselves as much as possible, because the time is going to come when you're no longer going to be on the face of the earth. So if you love people, you tell them, don't assume, communicate. And that's what the story tells us, about a girl who dies. She attends her own funeral and sees that people genuinely love her, but she never believed it and she never expressed it while she was alive. And it's a strong message I feel like everybody should embrace, especially in this time where everybody tries to be hardcore. I don't show emotions, I don't show feelings. Everybody's doing competition of, oh, I'm not going to reach out first, I'm not going to tell you about how I feel. So I feel like it's a message that should be talked about. And working on that project was an eye-opener. Apart from the fact that it was tasking, because film is tasking, it was also beautiful because I got to work with brilliant minds. The directors, the angles that she came from was just amazing. My co-producers, they were very, very, very amazing on the project, and the actors, the whole process from start to finish, the challenges we had, how we had to tackle it, find the solution. It's beautiful. I'm excited about it. And it's going to be out exactly 1 week from now. And yes.
Okay, so I think
so
we're seeing the trailer on
Is it
the
a short
screen
movie
now.
or
Yes, the short film.
how long is it?
It's just 10 minutes.
10 minutes.
Wow, that's interesting. Okay, anyways, back to the conversation. Me, I want to act film. I like film. But that aside, so let's talk about the business of filmmaking. So, a lot of producers in the early 90s, 2000s, up to late 2010s have complained about a major issue, piracy. As a filmmaker in the industry, would you say, the issue of piracy has been addressed enough to enable these producers, recoup their investments in these movies?
That's a very important question. And I'll say no.
Okay.
I don't think it has been tackled enough because you would see a situation whereby this is a cinema movie. You don't go to the cinema, you're not supposed to watch it, but people have versions on their laptops and they're downloading it. I feel like we don't have systems in place to curb that yet, but I believe that things are going to get better, And again, it also depends on the way you distribute. That's also very important. There's some, for example, you put in a lot of effort and you have your film on these really huge streaming platforms. Most of the time, it's pretty difficult to dub it. But then this is the digital age. Some things really cannot be avoided. All you have to do is put your foot down, get the right distributors. To a large extent, it's really, really out of your control. People always find a way, so it hasn't been tackled.
Okay, so especially as I think piracy has actually gone digital if you look at it dashing, because earlier it was regular dubbing using CD plates and
But now you can actually
tapes.
dub online,
Yeah,
record
online.
screens and all that.
Record screens and
Yeah, even music, you could just...
Even when you go to the cinema, you can actually record while it's playing. A lot of people actually
People
do that.
do that?
Yes, yeah, they do
But
that.
I think now in cinemas they don't allow phones into.
Why
Well,
had
in
phones?
Nigeria,
No, it's not possible.
No, it's not.
They
I don't
do.
think
No, they go
sorry,
with
they don't allow you
cameras.
to take your phone up to record anything.
They won't see you.
That's
Yeah.
true because it's dark and
So sometimes, they come in to check. I've been
Sure.
in a situation
To
where
ensure
they
you're
came
not-
in
Yeah.
to check. Say,
Aha.
drop your phone.
Aha.
It's not allowed. Yeah,
Now
those
you
measures
understand.
are, but they always find a way.
Of course.
People always find a way.
Okay. Now, you're an actress. You're a film director, and you're a producer as well.
Yeah.
So, which of these roles do you actually think is the toughest, especially when you're in a movie?
Okay, so I feel like each and every one of these roles have their own challenges. Being an actor, you have to dig into your emotions. Now, what a lot of people don't see is that it's just all glamorous when it's on screen, but the process, like there are times where as an actor you have to dig deep into an emotion just for you to portray it well, and it might be hurting you because, for example, something happened on the set of the funeral when we're filming. My lead actor, the female actor, she's the person that had died and she was attending her funeral. There was a part when we were shooting and she was so deep in her emotions she could not control herself. She was weeping profusely. They had to take a break, and just help her calm down. This is because a lot of effort is put into it, and some people in acting, you need to reach to some emotion. So imagine someone that has lost someone there, maybe their parent or a child or a sibling, and you have to act that role, and then you are reminded of that hurt that you felt. It's a lot, and it's very tasking.
Acting is serious work.
It is serious work. It is serious work. And as a director, on the other hand, it feels like the whole vision of the project is on you. However it comes out, the way it's looking, your ideas.
Okay.
It's a lot. Creativity is not easy. There's a lot of process with
True.
it. Then producing, people management. You see the production from start to finish. So personally, with my own experience, I would say for me, producing has been the most challenging because, first of all, it is your film. You are responsible. At the end of the day, if it flops, if it's not marketable,
It's on you.
it is on you. So, and apart from that, you have to manage people. And it is a lot of work managing people. Sometimes you just want to scream the whole world down. You just want to be annoyed at them. But then you have to, at the end of the day, put yourself together, understand, all of it, and then just make it work. So I'll say producing.
Okay, so finally, before we let you go,
Yeah.
we wouldn't be doing our viewers well if I don't ask this question.
Am I scared?
You shouldn't,
Don't
you shouldn't
be.
be scared. So you're a woman trying to make it in the movie industry. What are those challenges peculiar to your gender?
Okay. So a lot of times I feel like people may not take you seriously, especially when it comes to people management as a woman. Some people have ego, and on set you get to work with different ages of people, from the young ones to the old ones and all of that. And so there are times where you're trying to coordinate everybody and just say, okay, stop doing that. We're working with time. We need to get it rolling. And the person is looking at you like, who are you to talk to me
You don't
that
have
way?
the capacity to take charge.
Exactly.
And then you guys, you can see me now, I'm very tiny.
Yeah.
You're not as tiny as you
I
think
saw
you
what
are.
he did there.
I know, you heard what
I
he
heard
did.
what he
No,
said.
That was her, by the way.
Yeah,
not you.
okay, so just imagine a tiny person like me, a woman, and then I'm telling you, oh no, you have to keep it down. You're like, I'm not going to do what you're saying. What are you going to do about it? So these are some of the challenges that I have experienced, personally. I'm not going to say what I haven't. There are stories where people would have to, ask for something in return. I've never experienced that, so I'm not going to talk about it.
Okay, it's been lovely having Phoebe with us
it
in the
has.
studio. I wish we could continue this conversation, but unfortunately, we have to let you go. Phoebe, thank you so much
Thank
for
you guys.
gracing the show
That's been
today.
amazing.
All right, we'll go on a quick break now, and when we return, we'll come back with the entertainment segment. Don't go anywhere.
There really is no need for this.
The funeral, or you been here?
Both.
I miss her too.
These people never cared about me when I was alive.
I was unprepared for my sister dying.
Who do they think they're fooling now that I'm dead? Why is this locked? Asha, open the door. I want to leave.
You can't leave until you're grateful for your life.
Do you even know whose funeral this is?
The funeral service for Rita Osakwe has begun.
Took you long enough.